Between 1978 and 2001, 65 women and possibly even more disappeared from Vancouver's downtown east side. This is Hold My Sweet Tea. Hello, I'm Pearl.
And I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. I'm Holly.
Rest in peace, Ozzy.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yesterday, it hit. I knew it was coming, but it was like one of those hits when Prince died. It just like hit your heart because we grew up with the Oz man.
Yeah.
And we used to sing the Ozzy and Lita song every time it came on the radio.
Yeah.
I did the Ozzy part and Pearl would do the Lita Ford part. And I would do the Ozzy face.
Yeah. And it was like perfect. The very first time you ever did it, I almost fell out of the car. I was just like, oh my God, it looked just like him.
But we would watch the video on VHS tape over and over. And
yeah, we said VHS tape.
Yes, VHS. Because I had recorded it off MTV at one point. So we would watch it and then we would sing it, and that just became our duet.
Yeah, that was our thing.
But such a mega fan of Ozzy. And I mean, like I said, I knew it was coming. He was old enough. He's lived a really awesome life, and
yeah, and he's been struggling.
Yeah, he had Parkinson's,
and
then the whole concert that he just did like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Yes, like he did that.
I will say, like, it's very difficult to sing.
Yeah,
with Parkinson's.
Yeah, absolutely.
The lead singer of Aha also has Parkinson's.
Oh wow.
Like it's hard because their voices shake. And
I know they raised it was over $100 million for charity. I think it was like $190 million for charity, which was amazing.
Yeah, he's done that before.
Yep, for different things,
yeah.
And all the people that came out to the concert was really cool. And Youngblood, love Youngblood so much, and I'm so glad that he got to perform at Ozzy's show.
Yeah, the Dark Prince.
The Dark Prince.
He's actually like one of the kindest people. That's why I was like, it's so crazy, like his whole persona.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, that's a role I play. It's my act. That's his shtick or whatever,
Right.
When he's on stage. That's not how he's at home. He's not running around going, I'm the Prince of Darkness. And, although on the Osbournes, his, I love that show. Oh my God.
I died laughing so much watching that.
But I mean, their house was like not all dark decor and everything, which I would love. I'm like, gothic to the core. Love it.
Fur babies everywhere.
Oh my gosh, lots of them. And he'd complain every time one of them pooped or peed in the house. Sharon! But yeah, R.I.P. Ozzy.
Indeed.
He's iconic legend.
We are going to do another little out of our country case.
Awesome. One of our
So we're trying to
countries that
go through the
us,
listeners, yes, and do a little something for you.
Awesome.
But it also correlates with your oinky story.
Oh, Viola Hyatt, huh?
From the beginning of the week, yes.
So. Pigs.
Yeah, like, why not? Run with it.
All the piggies.
So we're going to talk about Robert Pickton, or Robert Willie Pickton.
Not Pigton?
No, Pick. But he operated a pig farm in Port Coquitlam in British Columbia. So Canada, hello.
Hello, Canada. Sorry if we mess up any of these names.
Yeah, or anything else for that matter. He would actually become known as the pig farmer killer or butcher.
Oh.
He would be charged with the murders of 26 women, but convicted on just 6 charges, and then there was like a stay for the other charges.
Mm-hmm.
But he did receive a life sentence for the other ones that he was charged for. And Pickton himself had claimed that he had murdered 49 women. He had been in a cell with an undercover cop and he didn't even know. And he was just blabbing.
So he's just blabbing like, ha ha ha, I've killed this many women.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you, sir.
Hilariously enough, there's some appeals paperwork where he tries to say he didn't do it by himself. And of course the Crown is like, it doesn't really matter. You still are guilty.
Right.
This is not a way to get out of it.
Yeah. You're not gaining any freedom by
telling us other people helped you.
Yeah.
But these murders would become Canadian history's obviously largest serial killer case. And the crimes would be committed on what would be known as the largest crime scene in Canadian history. Robert was born in 1949, and he was raised along with his siblings on the family-operated pig farm. As adults, he and his siblings would end up selling off most of the property for development. And I did not look this up, and I guess I should have, but 6.5 hectares remained.
Hectares.
Whatever that.
That's a hectare of an acre.
It's a lot. He would not only maintain the small-scale livestock operation of the farm, but he used it to his advantage.
Oh, okay.
So most of the women that he targeted were Indigenous and were sex workers or drug abusers. So I guess he felt like societal discrimination, I guess.
Right.
Because he had a big prejudice against the women in the sex trade.
Right. And I looked it up, and 1 hectare is, for the American equivalent, 2.471 acres.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So some of the proceeds he got from the sale of those real estate transactions, he would partner with his brother David in a salvage company. And I feel like they kind of ran these together in the same place, because if you see aerial pictures of the farm, there is some obviously spots of junk.
Right. So they had some junk piles plus the pigs and
But he did live alone in a trailer home on the property. And he was a very socially awkward man. Aren't they all, it seems like?
Seems like.
So, in 1996, the Pickton brothers started the Piggy's Palace Good Times Society.
What?
It's apparently a federally registered charity with an alleged mandate to raise funds for service organizations. They would do dances and shows in order to raise money.
Wow.
Their parties had sometimes 1,700 guests. So apparently they were pretty popular.
They had some Piggy fans.
Yeah.
They were probably like, oh, I thought you were talking about feet, like Piggy toes.
But here's the thing. Most of these people were inclusive of, I guess is the best way to put it. It wasn't just all bikers and all sex trade workers, but they were there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, why wouldn't they be? It's Piggy's Palace Good Times Society.
Right. What a name.
Yeah. So they were all from the downtown east side of British Columbia.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, but in the year 2000, the city actually shut down Piggy's Palace.
So is it like a swingers club type thing?
I don't really know, but I just couldn't get past the name.
I know. I'm like, that's hilarious.
It was just crazy. But Vancouver's downtown east side is known for high rates of poverty, homelessness, drug use, and prostitution. And 80% of the girls working in the sex trade actually came from outside Vancouver. And like most of them notoriously, I would say, because I feel like once they start doing this, they all kind of isolate and lose contact with their family. So a lot of people hadn't heard from these women in years. Yeah. So I was like, but that happens.
Yeah, that's
all
horrible.
the time. Pickton became really familiar with this area. He also like disposed of all his waste in the downtown Vancouver area.
Yuck.
Like animal parts, all that junk. And then he would cruise the 10-block strip known as the Low Track and offer women money and drugs, and then would often take them back to the farm.
Oof.
In 1978, a joint RCMP, Vancouver Police Department, Missing Women Task Force began to compile a list of missing women. The earliest case on the list connected to Pickton was Diana Melnick, and she was last seen in December of 1995. This is not one of the murders he was convicted of. The most recent case on the list connected to Pickton was one of the 6 murders for which he was convicted, and that was Mona Wilson, who was last seen in November 2001. So 95 is the oldest one they could find. 2001 is the most recent one.
Dang.
Of the 26 disappearances that they attribute to him, only one occurred in 1995, one in 1996, but then there was a big jump of 6 in 1997, 4 in 98, 5 in 99, 2 in the 2000s, and then 7 in 2001.
Oh, he was like, this is my year.
Yeah.
Well, I guess his confidence was like, you know what? Nobody's found out so far, so
exactly.
Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts.
Yeah. Party like it's 1999.
Right.
I don't know. I was like, at Piggy's Palace.
At Piggy's Palace.
Right before it got shut down. But other disappearances before that and even like during that time were not officially linked to him due to lack of evidence. But I think it like attributes a little bit to a lot of the marginalized lifestyle where they're like really transient. So I think it's just harder to track all of that. The disappearance of Sherry Rail, who vanished in 1994, actually, or 1984, I'm sorry, was not reported for like 3 years.
Oh, man.
So, and that's why in 1987 they set up this task force because they're like, whoa.
There's all these women going missing.
But nobody's realizing it because of what they're doing for their survival purposes. And so due to that, the limited progress in the cases that they were aware of and stuff, they decided, we really got to pay more attention to this. Over those years, the rates of disappearances escalated. Rumors of the serial killer began to circulate in downtown East Side. The Low Track area started writing down like license plate numbers, like the women did, so they could keep track of who was picking them up.
Well, and I'm sure between their community, they were like, okay, well, where is, Linda?
Right. I haven't seen Linda in 6 days.
Right. And she always works this corner, and then all of a sudden, where's Misty? and I'm just using random names, but still.
No, but right.
they would know. So, yeah, I guess they started taking precautions.
Yeah, they're going to be the only ones who do notice anybody is gone because these people, like I said, have isolated themselves. They don't even have contact with their family. Not to mention, I don't really, back in the day, those really older ones especially, there's not really there's no cell phones. No. There's none of that stuff. So you're just...
I mean, you see Linda get picked up on a Tuesday and then you haven't seen her in 2 weeks. So something's up.
Absolutely. But despite the fact that they were trying to keep track of all this, the disappearances were still happening.
Yeah.
In 1991, the families of missing women, along with advocates, established a remembrance walk and memorials for the murdered and missing victims. They also demanded more thorough investigation from the police. And sadly, I guess the police response was a little bit sluggish.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's to be expected because I'm going to tell you right now, they don't get treated equally.
No, they think they're just disposable, and no human is disposable, no matter what their lifestyle is or how they're trying to make a living.
And they felt like the Vancouver police were in denial, saying, "Oh, there's not a serial killer.
Right?
No way. It's just." Drug overdoses or whatever,
Or they moved and went to another city.
Right.
Or,
And that's exactly it. They're like, y'all are transient.
Yeah. Oh, just one less person
She just
for us to worry
decided she
about.
didn't want to be here anymore.
She moved to another corner.
Yeah. Went off to another city.
Yeah.
I guess the Vancouver police, too, was a little bit hampered. They weren't really into all the new criminology stuff, like geoprofiling and all that stuff.
Right.
So they were kind of like, eh.
Right.
Y'all don't know what you're talking about. When in actuality, they just didn't have the knowledge of all the things.
The knowledge and technology.
Yeah. So, like I said before, many of the missing women were actually Indigenous women. And Pickton, as his case unfolds, we find that most of his victims are Indigenous women. This, of course, brings about that whole, more attention on the Indigenous women missing and murdered and all of that stuff. Right. In Canada, I don't even feel like there's enough focus on that in the United States.
No, there's not. There's literally a movement going on about that because they don't get as much attention as other people.
Don't. And it actually led to a national government inquiry into the issue beginning in 2016. In March of 1997, a woman Pickton had taken to his farm and tried to handcuff actually fought back.
Good for her.
She had gotten a hold of a kitchen knife and, both of them, just wailing, stabbing, basically. Yeah. So she's, I don't know if she essentially stabbed herself, but both of them end up with multiple stab wounds.
Good. She was fighting for her life, as would I.
The woman ran to the road and flagged down a car that then called an ambulance. She was taken to the Royal Columbian Hospital in New Westminster. And while she was undergoing emergency surgery, she got towed up, Pickton was receiving treatment for his injuries in the same hospital.
Oh.
I was like, what the heck?
Wow.
So, an orderly happened to find a key in the pocket of Pickton's clothing that fit the handcuffs dangling from this woman's wrist. So then Pickton was arrested and charged with attempted murder, assault with a weapon, and forcible confinement.
Good for that orderly. Wow.
The charges were stayed and eventually dropped because the woman, whose name was like placed under protection, of course, so you're not allowed to, no one's allowed to post her name or anything like that. There's like a ban through the court. She was not considered a competent witness due to drug addiction.
Oh my God.
Do you need to be a witness to the fact that you just had emergency surgery from
from stab wounds that this man with the key in his pocket inflicted?
Yeah. Pickton tried to tell them that she was a hitchhiker who attacked him.
Oh my gosh. So how'd she get the handcuffs on her?
You know? But apparently they decided to leave him.
Yeah.
In the spring of 1999, an informant told Vancouver police that a single mom, also happens to be addicted to drugs, we're just going to call her Lynn, had seen a woman's body hanging inside of Pickton's slaughterhouse.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. When she was questioned by police officially, she at first denied the story. But then later, on the 20th of March, she had admitted that she had in fact seen the body. Like, I don't know why she bounced back and forth. She said she didn't report it because she feared that Pickton would, like, do something to her. But, crazy enough, she was also getting money and drugs from him.
Oh. So she knew about his lifestyle. She was probably part of the Piggy Club.
Right. Also, early in 1999, Bill Hiscox, who worked for the Picktons, informed the RCMP that a close friend of Pickton, named Lisa, had said she'd seen women's clothing, purses, and identification papers at the pig farm. Hiscox believed that they were the property of the missing women. So then police questioned Lisa, and she's uncooperative.
Oh my gosh.
Like, this is a theme here.
Yeah.
It was the second time that Hiscox had contacted the police about his suspicions, but they couldn't actually obtain a search warrant based on hearsay. So literally not much they could do. They required an actual eyewitness.
Yes.
To report this activity. But since, they were having a hard time getting that, they couldn't do anything.
Well, they had one. She was handcuffed and stabbed.
Yeah, but they didn't believe her. So in 2001, the Vancouver police and the RCMP formed Project Even-Handed, a joint task force to investigate the missing women from the downtown east side. And in February of 2002, Scott Chubb, formerly employed by Pickton's family as a truck driver, informed the RCMP that he had personally seen illegal guns in Pickton's trailer house. That information met the official requirement for a search warrant. So now they can come visit you.
Absolutely.
So on February 5th, the officers and the task force raided the pig farm. In addition to several illegal and unregistered guns, they found items connecting missing women to said property.
Nice.
Finally.
Yeah, exactly.
So Pickton gets arrested on the weapons charges, but is released on bail. Stupid. I don't know how that happens. But he was kept under surveillance and not permitted to return to the pig farm at all while police conducted their search. Because now they have a second warrant.
Right.
So among the evidence, they discover handcuffs, women's clothing and shoes, jewelry, an asthma inhaler with the little prescription labels still all attached to Serena Abotsway, one of the missing women. DNA testing of blood found in his trailer proved to be that of Mona Wilson. And so on the 22nd of February in 2002, Pickton was arrested again and charged with 2 counts of murder. Eventually, after collecting evidence, like I said, it would be a total of 26 murder charges, 6 of which he's convicted. He was held in the Surrey, British Columbia jail, where he shared a cell with an undercover police officer
and blabbed his mouth.
Blabbered. And the pig farm, like I said, had become the largest crime scene in Canadian history. Investigators actually took 200,000 DNA samples and seized 600,000 exhibits. Archaeologists and forensic experts had to use heavy equipment to sift through 383,000 cubic yards of soil looking for human remains.
Right, where the piggies pooped and everything, because it would come, yeah.
The cost of the investigation estimated nearly $70 million.
Holy moly.
Doll hairs. In Pickton's preliminary hearing, due to the unprecedented volume and complexity of legal issues that had to be litigated, they decided that they were going to do the first 6 charges, but it wouldn't be until January 22nd of 2007, because there was just so much stuff. So on December 9th in 2007, that's when Pickton was found guilty by a jury on 6 counts of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment in a federal penitentiary. I can't say anything. In a federal pen.
In a federal pen. In a federal pig pen.
With no possibility of parole for 25 years. That's a Canadian thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those convictions were upheld by the Supreme Court of Canada in 2010 because he had tried to appeal. Although Pickton claimed to have murdered 49 women, he was only charged with the 26th, who could be identified with evidence found on the pig farm. There's also an additional unidentified woman whose remains were found, and obviously she's a Jane Doe still. The Jane Doe charge was eventually dismissed by the court because of a lack of information about her identity and the time of her death. After Pickton was convicted of 6 charges in the initial trial, they kept open the possibility of trying Pickton on the other 20 charges at a later date. However, on the 4th of August in 2010, prosecutors announced that they wouldn't actually proceed with those 20 charges. They said a second trial, even with further convictions achieved, wouldn't add anything to his punishment. Right. So, because it's already at the maximum.
Right. It's just pointless at that point because he's not going to get out.
However, that decision did anger some of those families. Mm-hmm. Obviously.
Right, because they want justice.
Yeah. Others said they were relieved at being spared the experience of another long and difficult trial. In 2016, there's actually an autobiographical book titled Pickton, in his own words, that was allegedly written by Pickton and smuggled out of the prison. Weird.
Yeah.
It was at one time offered for sale on Amazon, but was withdrawn due to public outrage.
Yeah, we guess so.
So on May 19th,
my birthday,
2024, Pickton was attacked in a quote-unquote major assault at the Port Coquitlam institution in Quebec. A 51-year-old fellow inmate stabbed Pickton in the face.
Oof.
With a broken broomstick.
Shank.
Yeah. The 74-year-old Pickton was put on life support and was in a medically induced coma, but he died on the 31st of May from his injuries. This inmate that stabbed him in the face is now finally this year being charged with first-degree murder charges for that death. So there was a ton of stuff that was looked at where he was being held. So we'll kind of talk about that a little bit. So apparently this happens while the prison is going around giving out medications that night.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere
so he sees the opportunity.
in the 7 p.m.-ish hour. Now, despite the fact that there's a high security level, because obviously this is a maximum security prison. But the weirdest junk is that they have, like, free access to cleaning supplies. The broom, mops, any of that.
Yeah.
They're not locked away. There's no inventory of these things. So literally, like, they could be busting up broomsticks all day long and hiding that stuff in their cell. Because they can just get it whenever they want. So that was, like, a big thing going back on the prison itself and their, you know.
We're locking up cleaning supplies now.
Yeah. Because at first they thought, oh, well, maybe there wasn't enough guards, but it was the normal amount of guards for the night and everything else. But, yeah, so they just said there was a little bit of a scuffle right at the beginning of medicine handouts that was broken up between the two of them. And then, I guess 10 minutes later, the broomstick incident occurs.
He's like, shank right in the face.
Yeah. So he gets taken to a hospital and then that hospital is like, yeah, his stuff is so major, we can't deal with him here. So then they life flight him to another hospital where he's put in intensive care, but he still ends up passing away due to his injuries. This is another one of those moments where I go, it's like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. It's like you spent your life killing people and then someone killed you.
Yes.
Sometimes I like it that way.
Sometimes
I feel like
karma has its way of coming around.
Yeah, it's like sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. It really does.
Especially these people that have admitted and have like mounds of evidence.
Yeah, and have bragged about it and talked about it to their, cellmates.
Yeah. We could have gone way into this and spent multiple episodes talking about all of this stuff. But I just wanted to skim the surface.
Yeah, that was interesting, though. That's crazy. I've never heard of him.
I heard his episode on Crime Junkie, but didn't remember it until I started reading stuff about the victims and whatever. And then I went, wait a minute.
Yeah,
this is familiar. And then I had to Google and go, oh, yeah, they sure did. So I did hear it there, but I just didn't remember it. And then I was digging around going, hey, I need to do something. Like I did something for Australia. Let's do something for Canada because they were the two first.
Right. Our two international listeners.
Yeah. The first other countries to listen.
Right.
So I was like, let me do that real quick. And so I just looked up somebody that would be popular so that I know that I could find enough information to make it worth everyone's while and make sure I had at least 30 minutes, which like I said, I could have had like forever.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But the biggest part I wanted to include was his murder.
Yep.
So, but there was that survivor, and I think she also went on to talk about what happened to her and like how she went through so much survivor's guilt and like, they really felt like a community of sisters there because I mean, that's all they had was each other. And like, she just kept going, how did I get away? But the rest of them didn't, really sad.
Yeah. And we do have a new listener from a country that I didn't even know was there. It's the island of Reunion.
Yeah, it's actually like a French
it's a French territory. It's like off of the coast of Madagascar. So
hello.
Thanks for including us on your island. And we hope that you listen to all of our episodes.
Yeah.
And give us a shout out. Because we're still waiting to hear from somebody from another country.
Right. But speaking of hearing from somebody's, and I meant to mention this in the beginning.
Yeah.
that one of our previous cases, Morgan Bauer's mother,
Yeah, that's
sent
right.
us a message on our YouTube to let us know that the other person that was involved in her daughter's murder, Caitlin, is actually still in prison and that they have a court date in October for her. So
That's so cool that her mother reached out to you.
yeah, I was like, whoa.
I know. It's like, oh my gosh, we are being listened to, you know?
And I was like, I feel so much for the moms that lose their babies this way. Because I'm just like, I could not even imagine.
Nope.
I could tell you that, I mean, psycho cancer here. I'm not sure they'd make it to the police. I might, but they're not.
No, not at all.
If I found out who it was, I'm not sure they'd make it.
Yeah.
So, I never said that.
No. And I would also like to give a shout out to Pearl because she bought me Starbies this morning.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I needed it myself.
And you can also buy us a coffee because we are on Buy Me a Coffee at Hold My Sweet Tea podcast.
Yeah. We could use the help.
Yeah, absolutely. With the pod. It helps, fund the fun that comes out of our mouths.
Yeah. Like we have bills to pay to be able to bring this to you guys.
A single mom who works too hard loves her kids. We're not Reba McEntire, but
no. But I mean, we are struggling, yo. But we, continue to pay the little monthly subscription for the host and all the things. So
absolutely,
I would very much love it if someone would email us. Besides the one that did a while ago, Andrea, that's in where was she? Like down there where Carol was on the West Bank.
Oh yeah.
On the West Bank. So she's the only person who has used our email, which is steeped@holdmysweettea.com, and we pay for that too. So we would like somebody other than marketing people to send us emails. And our theme music is by Patty Salzetta. What?
Woo! Pate.
And as usual, I'm going to tell you to share our links. Yep. All of them.
Share them.
Share the links to the episodes. Share the links to our social medias.
Because that's how we get listeners.
And we have 68 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube, please go do so. Even if you don't want to watch it on YouTube, just go subscribe.
Subscribe anyway.
Yeah. Then you'll get notifications when we're putting up a new episode.
Or when we start doing videos.
Yes. We're going to do that soon too.
It is a slow climb, but we are gaining.
Yes. Right now it's a slippery slope, but we're getting there.
School's about to start, and then we'll be okay.
Yeah. So but we'll survive. It's
all right.
We'll
survive.
But Hold My Sweet Tea is a Drunken Bee production.
Bzz.
And as always, stay safe out there. And just because we're dipping doesn't mean you can't keep sipping. Bye.